Hello friends, welcome to Shauna Stitches. I'm Shauna and this is normally my crafty podcast where I talk about all the things I've been working on, but today is the very last special episode where I'm going to talk about the Stephen West Knits Mystery Knit Along Twists and Turns. I say it's the last because I have finally finished. I'm so excited. One quick note before we get into all that. You can see I'm in a different location, not very far from where I was recording, but I'm trying something different, and also the fire's on, which it's chilly today, so it's quite nice. I have a new ring light and I have a new microphone, so hopefully that's going to help with both lighting issues and sound issues, but there is definitely a learning curve. I feel like there's a lot of shadows on my face, and obviously you can see some shadows behind me. It doesn't seem to matter what I have done to change the lighting. I'm sorry guys, I don't have a professional setup. This is as good as it's going to get for right now. But I think that the sound quality is better. I haven't tested it by taking it from my phone to my computer yet, but what I could hear on my phone sounds good. So fingers crossed. Please let me know. Feedback is welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. Let's talk about the Mystery Knit Along. I don't feel like I should have to say that this is a spoiler alert anymore because the final clue's been released for almost a week. I don't think I said, but today is November 2nd, 2022, and it is Wednesday. So tomorrow the clue's been out for 1 week. Or I should say the final shawl has been out for 1 week almost. So anyway, the first thing I'm going to mention is how much yarn I used on the shawl. Just for a refresher, I'm using the Knit Picks palette yarn, which is a fingering weight yarn. I used a total of 355 grams of yarn, and we were supposed to purchase 500 grams total. So that means I have quite a bit of leftovers. This is one of my colors. This is Cosmopolitan, a very bright pink, and I have 36 grams left of that. The color Almond, which is a light tan, I have 2 grams left of one ball and one entire full ball. And of the Conch, C-O-N-C-H, I have to spell it every time, I don't know. Anyway, of that I have 12 grams left of one ball and one full ball. So in total, that's what I have left after completing the shawl. I'm thinking this would make a really pretty muscle burrow hat. I've seen, I can't give credit to who is doing the pattern in this way. If I remember, I'll link it down below, but there's someone who's done several versions where they use 3 colors, and one color starts at the top, then they start helical knitting with a second color, and then as it gets to the end, they eventually start helical knitting it'd be these 2 colors, and then ending with this color. So what it does is you can wear the hat 2 ways, and one color, one top of the hat would be this tan color with the pink stripes for the brim, I think it'd be the coral stripes with that for the brim, and then vice versa, it would be the coral with the maybe tan. I don't know. I can't quite visualize it, but I think I should have enough leftovers for that. So that's my plan. That being said, let's get into what does this shawl look like. I'm sure you guys have seen other finished shawls, but none quite like mine. So it's going to be very hard to show in its entirety. But I did take some photos. I had to use my tripod and take photos of myself, which is easier said than done, but I will pop those in here so you can see more of the overall effect. I still don't think I was able to get the entire thing in an entire shot. So this was clue 4. We added in these stripes where we attached to the previous long strips that no one seemed to know what was going to happen. I was somewhat right. I thought this was going to be short rows. My thought was maybe it would be something sort of like scalloped, but it was stripes. In the stripes, you can see there's stockinette and garter. And you picked up over here, or actually you picked up the live stitches over here, and you continued to knit shorter and shorter stripes until you were all the way to the end. If you are still on this clue or you haven't started this clue yet and you're starting to panic that you don't think it's going to line up, I thought for the longest time there was no possible way that these two ends would be even remotely close to each other, but it worked out perfectly. Stephen West is a genius. I've said it before, I'll say it again. So anyway, this was the second portion of that. I will say, knitting two identical sides, even though the knitting is slightly different, just in the way that you're picking up and whatnot, is very much like knitting a second sleeve, or as some would say, a second sock. I don't have a lot of issues with second sock syndrome, but knitting that second stripe section in this exact same colors was very much deja vu. Anyway, then we go down to clue 10, which you can see at the bottom. And it starts with that beautiful pink zigzag. And for those of you who are wondering what was going to happen with those loops, they are attached now. So let's see if I can show you. So I can put my finger behind there, but they're attached right there where you knit them down. And then it ended with more chevrons, which are very much like the chevrons at the top, but they don't have the loop portion. So, that being said, I think this turned into a nice size shawl. I have seen some people wearing it, and I'm slightly jealous of probably their height, being shorter than me, because, let's see if I can show you. Not really. Anyway, I saw one, I'll put a picture in because I think it's beautiful, but hers probably went down to here, like kind of the top of her jeans pockets, and it just looks so nice because the way those chevrons come down, I'm not going to say it doesn't look nice on me, I just thought it looked nicer where it's a bit longer. I suppose I could have lengthened it, but I didn't. Also, you'll see in some of the pictures I put in, and again, I cannot remember this person's name, and unfortunately it's on my phone where I'm recording, so I will put that on the screen so that you can go check out her Instagram photos, but they are awesome. She figured out a way to wear this shawl, and I'm thinking you could probably wear a lot of shawls this way. I'm going to see if I can remember how to do it without looking at the picture. I'm not sure that I can, but she put one of the edges sort of over her shoulder here, and then this end wrapped around her waist. The bit that's over my shoulder comes up and goes around the other shoulder, and then both ends come over to the hip, and I have to adjust it a bit here. And then she tied it here. And when you see her pictures, you'll see it looks like she's wearing it as a shirt. It's so cool. I think, again, she's a bit smaller than me, but yeah, you can see that. I mean, it sort of looks like a shirt, and the way she's wearing it, she just has a tank top on, so, she's got like a deep V, and you don't see sleeves poking out, and she even has some pictures of the, I almost fell off my stool. She has some pictures of the back. I think, she's able to get that to come down. So yeah, it's really cool. I mean, this is such a great way, in my opinion, to wear a shawl because my hands are free, I can do stuff, I can knit, and that's the most important thing. And it should keep very warm like this. So I think that's going to be the way that I will prefer to wear this shawl. I don't know if it would fit over a more bulky shirt or not, but I didn't show you this very well, but that's how it's tied right there. So yeah, this really did block out quite nicely. So I don't know what else to say about this. I Actually, I do have one thing to say. This is the very first time I've ever finished the mystery shawl in the month of October. I went back to my Ravelry project pages, which are my Ravelry link is down below, so you can go check those out. But I went back, and obviously last year's I didn't finish until just before this one started. And the ones before that were a range of, like, I think one I finished November 9th, another one November 20th. So usually in November, I think. But anyway, I'm very happy with this. Pretty happy with my colors. I try to wear a matching-ish shirt. It is coral, but it just looks orange compared to it. So anyway, thank you so much for following me along in this journey. I definitely plan on doing this again next year. It's been a lot of fun. It's been fun to watch all of you in the process as well. So I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And if you have finished your shawl, put a comment down below and give me a link to your finished, either on Instagram or Ravelry or wherever you have it. I would love to see it. And any other comments, questions, what have you, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like and subscribe if you want. I will talk to you soon with an episode of more things. Bye.